Doesn't that sound so good? That's right, you read the title. This thing's got a 4AGE built by Tec-Art. This is a 16-valve 4AGE, and this is actually not the original motor. This is an AE92 swap. What that means is it's a small port intake. First thing you notice, we have ITBs. These are AE111 black top ITBs, so the larger diameter ITBs. Next thing you'll notice is we have coil on plug direct ignition, and that is run by a Motec M84 ECU. The block has been completely stripped down and rebuilt from the bottom up. It's got a brand new crank from Toyota, and this is fully balanced, fully blueprinted as you would call it. We've got forged internals, forged Tomei rods, forged pistons, and up top we're going with a mild cam. So it's actually a 264 degree cam, and they're Tomei pond cams. So why go with mild cams? Why not go for a full crazy build? Well, the thing is, this car will probably never see the track, and I'll only ever use it on the street. So I wanted a street build. You know, we're not chasing high horsepower here, we're chasing usability. I want a more wider power band and a wider torque band, and that means sacrificing top end power. Other little details, we have an aftermarket oil cooler, oil filter relocation, we have electric fans. This is actually a aftermarket radiator. It may look like the stock radiator, but the core has been replaced for a more efficient dual core or triple core. Not to mention, I have power steering and AC, both of which I've never had in my other car, so it's a fantastic joy to drive. So, what was it like getting a motor built by Tec-Art? Well, for that, we're gonna have to go back to March 2020. It all begins at Tube Garage, which is located on the outskirts of Nagoya. Tube Garage is an AE86 specialist dealership, and they're well known for selling really clean examples, as well as restored cars. They were kind enough to arrange an appointment for me to see this Black Limited specifically, and they brought it out, and man, it was one of the cleanest cars I have ever seen. And just like that, we made a deal, we signed some paperwork, and I became an owner of a 1 in 400 Black Limited. Now the next stop on my journey was Tec-Art. Now Tec-Art is the mecca for 86 enthusiasts. Like, there's just so much to see and so much to take in. It's really cool. I really do recommend anyone who wants to go to Japan to check out Tec-Art. Kamata-san is really friendly and he loves visitors. Just keep in mind, he doesn't speak a lick of English, so you're gonna have to work up your Japanese skills. But even with the language barrier, he understood that I wasn't looking to build a race car. He instantly understood that I was an 86 enthusiast, and what I was looking for was a street build. At the end of the day, we came up with a really solid game plan, and he agreed to take on this project. A few weeks later, with logistics arranged, the car left Tube Garage on its journey towards Tec-Art. And the car received a warm welcome at Tec-Art, where Kamata-san brought out his Black Limited, and at a point, there were 3 Black Limiteds at his shop, which is crazy. Work began with disassembly. The stock motor would be sold to him, and he would go and source the AE92 4AG, where he told me the small port head is better suited for individual throttle bodies since the flow will be much more efficient and create more power. The motor build itself was delayed for a few months since this was peak COVID time, and a lot of the parts needed were on back order. But eventually, the entire motor was assembled, he got it installed into the car, and work resumed as scheduled. This was the very first start of this motor. Other jobs I requested from Kamata-san was to rebuild the rear end with a Cusco 2-way LSD and a 4.7 final drive ring and pinion. Once the car was up and running, all that it needed was a solid tune and the car was good to go. The car was then handed over to my good friends at Classic Racer, where they handled the export and shipping of the car. Exiting from the port of Yokohama, it arrived in Hong Kong after a week on the boat. So yeah, it's been a real honor to meet and work together with Kamata-san at Tec-Arts. And as I said before, he did an amazing job. He knew exactly what I wanted, which was a street build with light maintenance. You know, it's not a full-blown race motor. I don't have to baby it. I don't have to tear it apart every 5,000 kilometers. And I could just service it like a regular 4AGE. And just, it's going to be a long-lasting, smooth, well-balanced motor. And as I said, it's perfect. He's actually made a video on this motor and this car on his YouTube channel, so go check it out after this video. It's really cool. I'll leave the links in the description below as well. But yeah, 3/4 of a year later, here she is. She's gone on quite a long journey to get here, and a well worth journey. So that's enough for me talking. Let's hear this motor. I can't get over how good this thing sounds. Well, that's that for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I had a ton of fun making this. And what's next? The motor's done. Drivetrain's good. I think we got suspension next. So be sure to subscribe, because seriously, we have a lot of amazing videos planned for this car. So yeah, please subscribe, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time on Progression Motorsports. La 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 la.